Good morning and welcome to our thought for the day for Thursday the 22nd of July. Our reading today comes from Luke's Gospel. It's chapter 8, beginning at verse 1. After this, Jesus travelled about from one town and village to another, proclaiming the good news of the kingdom of God. The 12 were with him, and also some women who had been cured of evil spirits and diseases. Mary, called Magdalene, from whom 7 demons had come out. Joanna, the wife of Chuza, the manager of Herod's household. Susanna, and many others. These women were helping to support them out of their own means. Recently we've been following a sermon series on the book of Colossians, and right at the end of Colossians there was this wonderful list of names, and these were names of the people that had worked alongside the Apostle Paul. And one of the points about that passage really that we can take from these final few verses from Paul's letter to the Colossians is you get a very clear picture that the early church was a team effort. There was no one travelling by themselves ever. People always travelled in teams and worked together in teams. And Paul illustrates this, of course, when he speaks about the church being a body with every part having its place, every part being vital to the health of the whole. And here in Luke's Gospel, we again have an insight into Jesus' ministry. What was Jesus doing? He was travelling around from town to town, village to village, proclaiming the good news of the kingdom of God. What does it look like when God is in charge of your life? This is the kingdom of God. What does it look like if God is in charge of all eternity? This is the kingdom of God. And of course we know that his disciples, as disciples, would have followed him absolutely everywhere, but they were not alone. There were also some women. And the fact that they're named here and that they're picked out, and that the author of Luke identifies them as women is actually really important, because it signifies something of the importance of all in spreading the good news of the kingdom of God. The idea that Luke is proposing here is that they were helping to support Jesus and the disciples out of their own means. In other words, without the help and support of these women, there would be no ministry. And I think that's really an extraordinary kind of thing to be reading about. Don't you find it extraordinary? I find it extraordinary that one thing, the Apostle Paul needing help, well, of course, he was just a man. But here's Jesus resting and relying upon the ministry of others in order for him to fulfill his own ministry in preaching about the kingdom of God as he goes from one town to another. And clearly some of these women are obviously pretty wealthy and have quite an extraordinary backgrounds. I mean, we read about Joanna, the wife of Chuza, who was the manager of Herod's household, so very much part of the establishment. Whilst also Mary, called Magdalene, we don't know much about her, but we do know that Jesus had ministered to her. And there is something delightful in the fact that all these women who have been ministered to by Jesus are now ministering in their own way to him. So a lovely short passage that reminds us of teamwork, that reminds us of the fact that we have the privilege of responding to the ministry that God has been working out in our lives by, in a way, ministering to Him. I think that's a really special thought to hang on to today, and I hope that you'll be able to do just that. Bless you, have a great day, and see you again soon. Bye-bye.